Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the wonderful world known as Open Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. In today's rather long-awaited episode, we are going to be tackling an old friend from Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and an old friend for the second episode of Season 1, Electric Fields. Well, this is by far the easiest of the free beginner scenarios, in my opinion, of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and you can kind of see why. As you can tell by the description of the scenario. You have inherited a small farm, and your challenge is to build a small theme park amongst the fields and farm buildings. The objective is almost 3 times bigger than that of Forest Frontiers, but it's not particularly that difficult, in my opinion, to get 700 guests in your park at the end of October, year 2, with a park rating of at least 600. So, same park rating requirement, just almost 3 times as many guests. And as you can see here in the background, past this little box here, you can tell that yes, there are fields literally everywhere with a little river running through, and fields and stuff everywhere. We do start off with a couple of pre-built buildings over here, but for the most part, all we have is $10,000, 40 guests, and a park rating that desperately needs some tender love and affection. So, oh, let's go over the rides real quick. And there's not a whole lot of variety here at the start. We only have the miniature railroad as a transport ride, a few decent gentle rides in some kind of regard, are a couple of good coaster types in the Win and Junior, and then you have 2 different kinds of minis and the mine ride, which isn't that great in my opinion. 2 okay thrill rides, 2 water rides with 1 water ride pre-built, and the other one being the log flume, which is quite good, and a decent selection of shops and stalls, including a few food stalls, a couple drink stalls, and a variety of our merchandise. That's including an important information kiosk, which we start with this time, thankfully, and of course your restrooms. So, without further ado, let's take the game off a pause and let's get this party started. The first things first, before I let this go on any further, I am going to need to build an information kiosk stat. Because I've learned from last time. And yeah, as you can tell, a lot of guests have left just immediately, and we barely just started. That's not good. So I'm gonna start things off here by putting down this pre-built log flume ride, because well, let's face it, we might as well put the water rides together. It's only fair. And then we just extend this path out a little bit to connect it with the rest of the park, and open it up and have it do its thing. And pretty standard stuff. Also gonna start putting down some food and drink stalls, so that way the guests don't have a good reason to leave because they're hungry or thirsty or the other bull crap. Along with, first restroom. One thing I don't particularly like about electric fields is the pre-built, I believe that's a quadruple wide path. The guest pathfinding in this game is mediocre at best, And having an extremely wide path like this leads to problems. A lot of problems. So what I'm gonna do is just very, very carefully just simplify the path system here so that way the guests don't get lost, because that's not what you want to have happen. Especially in parks like these where it's like, oh hey, you have to keep your park rating up in order to complete the scenario, as well as, attract enough guests. And guests getting lost because of their terrible pathfinding is definitely something you don't want to deal with. I know that from experience. In any case, now it's actually looking a little bit better. There's a little crossover point there, and now the guests can get from point A to point B without getting lost in the confusing middle. And then, as you may have surmised, we do start off with a bit of a loan, which is annoying because that loan interest will eat into your money quite quickly. But there's not a whole lot we can really do about that. So let's get into the fun stuff and actually put down a friggin' roller coaster. There we go. Okay, now things are starting to get a little bit more busy in the park. Right now that we've put down a couple of extra rides. I don't know about you, but but puke green balloons is not exactly something I would want in my own theme park. So yeah, I don't think you would want to be wearing a puke green t-shirt here, or have a puke green balloon, because let's face it, that's just friggin' disgusting. So with that in place, we should be more or less ready to go. As luck would have it, one of my favorite coaster types in the game, the looping roller coaster, is currently in development. And as the name implies, the looping roller coaster is capable of vertical loops, and depending on the design, it can have a pretty good throughput if you know what you're doing. But it is a pretty good ride, but it does suffer from, let's just face it, some pretty mediocre stats at best. And I say at best because I know some people will be in the comments saying, the looping roller coaster isn't that good, because stats are more terrible than you're giving it this credit for. Instead, I say, well, yeah, I might be giving it I might be giving it a little less shit than people throw at it, but come on now, now, you have your favorite types, I have mine, just respect my opinion, please. Meanwhile, while I'm ranting about the friggin' looping roller coaster, you can tell that things are getting kind of busy up in here. Gonna try to give Wood Trip here a little bit of love, because let's face it, that roller coasters do deserve a little bit of extra, um, love. In case you're wondering why I'm jacking up the price on some of these rides, it's so that way we get the most bang out of so that way guests get the most bang out of their buck. Literally speaking in this case. Okay, it is connected. Yay, rain. At least the good news is, is at least you can make a quick buck if you charge the maximum for the umbrellas when it's raining, because the guests won't give a crap. They'll pay anything in the rain. Right? But in normal conditions, the guests are like, yeah, no, we're not that stupid. Get more stalls here on the other side just to make sure that there's at least a little bit of variety here and there. You can only borrow up to 25,000 on your loan in this scenario, which can be a little bit of a problem if things decide to go tits up, to be perfectly blunt. Just a slight little reroute there. Now it actually is a little bit more cohesive. Not necessarily the correct word to use there, but it's the only word I could really think of at the moment. We might as well give the chocolate a little bit of a test run here before the guests decide to get on and indulge in said chocolate. Also, I do apologize that the game sound does sound a little low. I'll try to adjust that before next episode because I think you would want to be able to hear the game a little bit, but while also being able to hear me as well. So I do apologize for that. Another decent-ish roller coaster type is the corkscrew, and that's coming up next here on the old research agenda. The corkscrew, also like the looping, does what it says on the tin, and spins the train around in corkscrews, as you would expect. However, the corkscrew, as some people may have known, is a slightly disappointing version of the twister coaster, which I believe we do not have here at Electric Fields. So we're just going to make do with what we got. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, Electric Fields isn't particularly too tricky. It just takes longer because the guest goals nearly tripled from Forest Frontier's last episode, because we went from 250 straight up to 700. But as it stands right now, we're 2/3 the way to the goal, all as we approach the end of May year 1. So we're definitely making good pace. I say making good pace like this is a speed run, but it's not. It's just a casual playthrough / let's play. So don't know why I opted for the speedrunning terminology there. Just gonna speed things up a little bit until we get closer to June. And just like that, it's already the day before the corkscrew is unlocked. This is one of the good things about Open Rollercoaster Tycoon 2, the fact that it has a speed up function, so that way you aren't sitting for a literal real life hour to unlock stuff like the corkscrew. Okay, maybe I'm over exaggerating a little, but I think you get the point. The Cobra is kind of like the Stingray in a way, because it is also another old shuttle loop coaster, just in corkscrew form. And just like the Stingray, it's going to get its test run before any guests get on it. Small compact designs like the Cobra and Stingray work out wonderfully in a park where you don't necessarily have the biggest amount of space. Now this is a little bit of a lie, considering that we do have a fair bit of space to work with. It's just more of a money thing, as you can tell down there in the bottom left. In case you're wondering what I'm basing my pricing off of I'm trying to charge around double the excitement rating rounded down. So 6.1, and I just decided to just round it to the nearest dollar, which would be $12. And as you can see, the guests are willing to pay $12, no problem. It's best to find a quick and easy way to optimize your ride ticket prices and scenario plays, so that way you can make the most bang for your buck while also not trying to crunch the numbers with a friggin' calculator in your hand. And let's face it, not everyone has a friggin' calculator in their hands to do quick maths. So yeah, we're now halfway through June year 1, and we are getting quite close to the goal, and our park rating is incredibly high down in the low 900s, which is quite good since the scale is out at 999. You could also technically say I have 1,000 since there's 1,000 numbers inclusive between 0 and 999, but I digress. Well, that's rather rude of you, Kurt. For things like the car ride, I do be careful not to charge too much because guests tend to want to pay more for things like roller coasters and thrill rides than they do a dinky little car ride like this. So just have that situational awareness is basically all I'm saying. And you can kind of see why I said don't charge too much for this ride because, well, its stats are pretty low. They're somewhat high for a car ride, I believe, but don't quote me on that. And we have hit the goal just before July year 1. So overall, like I said, not quite as not 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 quite as easy to complete quickly compared to Forest Frontier since you need triple the guests, but overall it's definitely just as easy as Forest Frontiers. Well, it's slightly harder because of the higher guest goal, but you get the point. It's not quite as hard as you may think. Just as long as you know exactly what you're doing. Just as long as you exactly know what you're doing in terms of place down rides, stalls, all that various stuff, you should be fine. And as I said, we completed it on June 30th, year 1, just before it rolled over to July. Hey, and so that will do it for this video. But before we go, there are going to be two pretty big announcements I want to make. announcement number one. The Amethyst Marble Race All-Star season will be starting by the end of the week before Halloween. I will not be making a Halloween special. Well, it's just coincidental timing that the All-Star season will be starting right before or the spooky season known as Halloween. So I'll keep an eye out for that. And number two, I have reopened a Patreon. On, the link to my Patreon will be down in the description below, and in the comment section, and down below as well. If you want to support the channel and want to help keep things going, and all that fun stuff, you can go down to the link below, and you can become a patron. Of course, you don't necessarily have to become a patron if you don't want to or aren't able to because of your own financial stuff, but you know, every little bit helps. And you know what they say, hey, it's the thought that matters. So it's just there as an option. And you can become a patron or not on my Patreon. Um, and it's completely all up to you. So in any case, as mentioned, that will do it for this video. I will try to fix the game volume issue for episode 3, where we will return to a factory themed theme park from season 1 as well. Well, my goal is to try to get to a rare infamous scenario from Rollercoasters Tycoon 2 as soon as possible. But first, we have 2 more parks to get through before we get to that infamous scenario. Oh, in any case, I'm just rambling at this point. So, to sum it all up, Amethyst Marble Race All-Star season will be coming up by the end of this week. I have recently created my Patreon, on which you can join the link below if you want. And that will do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next video. Ciao.